Hello gold farmers, welcome to another Going Out Trying video. Today we'll be taking a look at a route that I had covered probably a couple months ago. I don't remember exactly how long ago it was. However, this is my favorite Khorium ore route, and the reason why we were revisiting it is just because, one, I haven't heard a whole lot of people talking about Khorium ore. I remember before BFA had launched, there were a ton of people trying to gather as much Khorium as possible, and that's actually kind of what inspired this route. I was trying to find some of the best routes for Khorium ore, and this one was by far the best one that I had found. If I remember correctly, it was about 60 Khorium ore per hour, which is quite a bit considering this is one of the rarest uncommon ores in the game. It is also the most expensive uncommon ore as well, if I can find out where mine went. On my server it's going for about 800 gold, regionally it's going for about 700, so it's still pretty expensive. The only downfall is the sell rate has decreased since there aren't a whole lot of people talking about it anymore. There are still a lot of other good things about this route though outside of the Khorium ore itself. The adamantite ore has gone up in price, and it is selling for quite a bit more than what it used to. When I was creating these routes, adamantite ore was selling for maybe 2 gold a unit, and now on my server at least it is going for about 6.5 gold. The regional market value is a little over 10, so adamantite ore has definitely gone up in price. You do get a little bit of fel iron here and there, but because you don't get a whole lot, I'm not going to focus a whole lot on it, but we will get back to it here in a minute. You also get this eternium ore, which is one of the biggest ores that I would actually try to go for because the regional market value is 53 gold, almost 54, and on my server it's going for about 25, so it's a pretty expensive ore. It's not hard to get. You can obtain it from gathering either fel iron, adamantite ore, or even Khorium ore, so it's a really nice surprise when you get a little bit of extra ore when you mine any of the nodes in the Burning Crusade. And you also get these moats here, which I really personally like because it's kind of like adding extra gold onto what you're already making. So I've been farming for about 15 minutes now, and I've made, actually I can just pull up my TSM or my loot appraiser, and I made about 6k. A lot of that's from the Khorium ore node that I had picked up. However, you are making quite a bit of gold off of several different things. It adds more, just adds more items that you can throw on the auction house. Getting back to the fel iron ore, what I highly recommend that you guys do with fel iron ore is smelt it into fel iron bars, and you can even take the eternium ore and you can smelt that into the eternium bars, and then you can take, I believe it was 3 fel iron and 2 of the eternium bars, and you can craft the fel steel, which is selling for quite a bit of gold. This is one of the methods that I used to use a lot back when Khorium ore was really popular because I was getting a large abundance of both fel iron and the eternium ore, and the profit for crafting fel steel was much greater than just selling the ores raw. As far as adamantite ore goes, if it's not selling for a whole lot on your auction house, I'd highly recommend that you just send it over to a jewel crafter so you can prospect it and try to get as much of the golden drain out as you can. The price of it probably has gone down, but the last I knew it was going for roughly 100 gold, which is quite a bit for a gem, and the sell rate was pretty high, but again, because not a whole lot of people are talking about that anymore, there's probably a lot that's changed in that market. I've also noticed that a lot of my routes are starting to get recognized, so I really do appreciate that. If you guys have any routes in mind that you'd like me to do, please let me know, and I will definitely work my way over to getting them, or even if it's a route that I have covered once before, I can go over it again and pretty much redo it and just kind of go over it since the new patch has been out. Or not patch, but since the new expansion's been out, because I haven't really covered too many old content routes since the new expansion's been out, so I can definitely take another look at some of those. Anyways, the golden draenei has actually gone up in price on my server. It's still going for about 100 gold, but the sell rate of it has definitely decreased. So if you do prospect your adamantite ore, I wouldn't recommend saving onto a whole lot of the golden draenites, just because it's not really that worth it. I'd save up to maybe 10 or 20 of them and try to sell them that way. And then I would just try to sell your adamantite ore raw, or you can even turn it into bars and make a couple more gold per bar. How this route works. Actually, to start, this route is in Nagrand, and it is on the very far side of Nagrand. And how this route works is, we'll start here at the top. There are always going to be 2 nodes. If there isn't anybody else farming, there will always be 2 nodes in this small section right here. There will always be 1 node in this section right here. A lot of times when I get to this section, I know the route is separated, but if I don't find an ore over on this side, I will check over here just to pick up that ore, and it looks like it is right here. Just so that way I can get the respawn timer set on it, because this route is a 5-minute route, and it's a really fast respawn route. But you'll have the one that spawns right here. You've always got one that will be up in this small section right here. And this is the only spot, actually I guess you do get a felt iron ore here, but this is your biggest spot where you will find a felt iron ore. And all of these nodes here share the same spawn, I guess you could say, because if you have a felt iron ore, you won't have an adamantite ore that spawns up here. Then you've got this cave here, which will always have 2 nodes in it. And then you got this cave here that will always have 2 nodes in it. One thing that I really like about this cave is there are 2 nodes outside of it that actually count towards the 2 that are inside of the cave. And sometimes you can find both of them on the outside, which makes it really nice, because I absolutely hate going inside of caves to collect any kind of materials. I try to stay away from caves just in general. That will be all though, so thanks for watching. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more content.